The restaurant lights were warm, but my palms were damp. I followed Sophia to the table where her friends were already laughing. Everyone. "This is Thomas," she announced with a smile that looked sweet but sounded sharp. "He works in well, let's just say he's still figuring it out." Lena leaned back in her chair, eyes flicking over me. "Still figuring it out. That sounds mysterious." "It's not mysterious," Sophia said, smirking. "He fixes computers. Like, when your laptop freezes or when you forget your password. He's basically tech support." The table erupted in soft chuckles. My chest tightened. I forced a laugh. "It's not exactly like that. I run small repair contracts. It's honest work." Michael raised his glass. "Honest work, sure. But does it pay rent in this part of the city?" The laughter grew louder. I glanced at Sophia, hoping she'd defend me. She didn't. Instead, she tilted her head. "Thomas is humble. That's one of his best qualities." "Humble," Lena echoed. "That's another word for broke, right?" The sting was instant. I clenched my jaw, trying to hold my tongue. "Money isn't everything," I said quietly. Michael smirked. "Spoken like a man who doesn't have much of it." The table laughed again. I looked at Sophia, but she just sipped her wine, pretending not to notice my silence. I leaned closer to her. "Why are you saying it like that?" I whispered. "Like what?" she asked, eyes still on her glass. "Like I'm some joke," I muttered. "Relax," she said softly, still smiling at her friends. "They're just teasing. It feels more like mocking," I replied. "Don't be so sensitive," she snapped under her breath. "You'll embarrass me." Embarrass her. The words stabbed deeper than the laughter. Michael leaned forward. "So, Thomas, what's the plan? Staying in tech support forever, or do you dream of being CEO someday?" "I have my own goals," I said firmly. "I'm building something small, but it matters to me." "Small," Lena repeated with a grin. "At least he's honest." I swallowed hard. My voice cracked as I said, "What about honesty and loyalty? Do those count anymore?" Sophia touched my arm, smiling at them while whispering to me, "Stop talking like that. You're ruining the mood." I pulled my arm back. "I'm ruining the mood." Her eyes flashed. "Keep your voice down." Michael leaned toward her. "Sophia, you didn't tell us he was so passionate." "Passionate," Lena giggled. "He looks ready to cry." The laughter circled me again. My ears burned, but I sat still, gripping the edge of my chair. Sophia finally turned to me. "Thomas, relax. They're my friends. You don't have to prove anything." "Then why do I feel like I'm on trial?" I asked. "Because you take everything too seriously," she said. "This is supposed to be fun." "Fun for who?" I shot back. "The more you." The table went quiet for a second. Michael raised his brows, clearly entertained. Sophia leaned in close, her voice sharp. "Don't make a scene. If you love me, you'll let this go." My chest tightened again. "If I love you, I should let them tear me apart." "They're joking," she insisted. "They're humiliating me." I said louder this time. Lena smirked. "Oh, come on, Thomas. Don't act like a victim. We're just having fun." "Your fun comes at my expense," I replied, staring straight at her. Michael laughed. "At least you've got fire. Maybe Sophia likes that." I turned to Sophia, my voice low. "Do you?" Her smile faltered for the first time. She looked at me, then at them, and forced a laugh. "He's dramatic sometimes. Don't mind him." They'll felt the crack inside me widen. I wanted to scream, but instead I stood up. "Where are you going?" she asked quickly, grabbing my wrist. "I need some air," I muttered. "Thomas," I pulled free. "No, Sophia, you wanted me here to show me off, but all you've done is tear me down." Her face stiffened. "You're overreacting." "Am I?" I asked, voice shaking. "Because right now I feel smaller than I ever have, and the person holding the knife is you." The silence that followed was heavier than the laughter had ever been. Michael whistled under his breath. Well, this got awkward. I walked toward the door, heat rushing through my body. Behind me, Sophia called out, "Don't be childish. Thomas, you're embarrassing both of us." I stopped, turned, and met her eyes. "No, Sophia, tonight, you embarrassed me." And then I left, the laughter still echoing behind me like knives in the dark. The apartment door clicked shut behind us. I loosened my tie, still replaying the cruel laughter from the night before. Sophia tossed her purse on the counter. I didn't have to storm out like that. "You embarrassed me." I turned. "Embarrassed you. They mocked me the entire night." "Sophia," she crossed her arms. "You're too sensitive." They were joking. Joking, tearing me down in front of strangers. "Is it joke to you?" Her eyes narrowed. "They're not strangers. They're my friends. You could have played along." I rubbed my temples. I tried, but how many times do I have to laugh while they call me broke or useless? "You make it sound worse than it was," she snapped. "Michael was just teasing." Michael asked if I could even pay rent. "How is that teasing?" Sophia rolled her eyes. "You should learn to laugh at yourself. If you can't, then maybe you don't belong in that circle." My stomach dropped. "So I don't belong with you unless I impress your circle." "You're twisting my words," she said quickly. "No, I'm hearing them exactly as you said them." Silence stretched between us. I finally muttered, "I thought love meant respect." She sighed. "Thomas, love also means ambition. I want a future. I can't pretend your small job doesn't worry me." The words cut deeper than any laughter. So my work, my life isn't good enough for you. I didn't say that, she said, softer now. I just wish you had more direction. I sat on the couch, the weight heavy in my chest. I have direction. It may not look like much now, but I'm building something. Doesn't that count? She didn't answer. Instead, she walked into the bedroom and closed the door. That night, I opened my notebook. The words poured out faster than I could think. She loves the image, not the man. She measures me against money, not loyalty. The scratching of my pen felt louder than her silence. The next morning, Daniel called. Heard you left dinner early. What happened? I hesitated. She introduced me like I was a joke. Her friends tore into me. She laughed with them. Damn, he muttered. And you stayed. I left before it got worse, I admitted. Good. You don't deserve that, he said firmly. Thomas, I've told you before, Sophia's not looking at who you are. She's looking at what you can give her. She says she loves me, I whispered. Does she respect you? He shot back. I had no answer. Daniel sighed. Man, I've known you since high school. You've always given too much. She's not giving anything back. She used to, I said weakly. At least I thought she did. People don't change overnight. Maybe you're only seeing what she's been hiding, Daniel said. I pressed the phone tighter. You think I should leave her? I think you should open your eyes, he replied. Ask yourself if you treat her the way she treats you. I closed my eyes. No, I never could. Then why are you letting her? His words stuck with me long after the call ended. When Sophia came out of the bedroom later, she didn't mention last night. Instead, she scrolled on her phone and said, casually, Lena's boyfriend just bought her a new car. Can you believe that he really knows how to treat a woman? My throat went dry. So now I'm competing with Lena's boyfriend. She glanced at me. I didn't say that. I just think it's romantic or expensive. I asked bitterly. Why are you twisting everything I say? She snapped. Because every word sounds like a comparison. She didn't respond. She just looked at me, then turned back to her phone. I stared at the journal on the table, the ink, still wet from earlier. For the first time, I wondered if I was writing the beginning of the end. The Carter house smelled like polished wood and roasted meat. My shoes clicked too loudly against the marble floor, every step reminding me I didn't belong here. Sophia squeezed my hand before we entered the dining room. Just smile and be polite, she whispered. I always am, I replied, though my stomach twisted. Her father sat at the head of the table, posture stiff, suit pressed like he was born in it. Her mother arranged silverware in silence, her eyes flicking up only once before darting back down. Dad, Mom, Sophia began cheerfully. This is Thomas. Mr. Carter gave me a slow, measured look. Thomas. His voice was heavy, like a gavel. What do you do? I opened my mouth, but Sophia cut in with a laugh. He fixes computers. He's kind of like the neighborhood tech guy. My throat tightened. I run a repair business. I corrected quickly. I manage contracts for offices, networking setups, that kind of thing. Small scale, Sophia added with a smile. Her father's eyebrow lifted. And this pays the bills. Yes, sir, I said firmly. It does. He reached for his wine glass. Interesting, because my daughter has expensive tastes. I hope you've considered that, Dad, Sophia said lightly. Don't scare him. I'm not scared, I replied, though my palms were sweating. I want to build something bigger. I'm working toward it. Working toward, he repeated, as if the words were foreign, not already established. Sophia leaned closer to her mother. See, Mom, this is what I was telling you. He has potential, but he's still figuring it out. The heat climbed up my neck. Sophia, why would you say that? She waved her hand. I'm being honest. Don't look so tense. Mr. Carter set his fork down. Potential doesn't pay for houses. Potential doesn't secure stability. My daughter deserves more than promises. I clenched my jaw. With respect, sir, I don't think money is the only measure of what someone deserves. The table went silent. Sophia laughed awkwardly. Thomas can get a little idealistic sometimes. I turned to her. Idealistic, for believing respect matters more than bank statements. Don't raise your voice, she hissed under her breath. Her father cleared his throat. Tell me, Thomas, where do you see yourself in 5 years? Before I could answer, Sophia chuckled. Hopefully not fixing the same laptops. My chest burned. You think that's funny? She shrugged. It's just a joke. It doesn't feel like one. I shot back. Her father frowned. Enough. If you can't handle light-hearted conversation, perhaps you're not ready for this family. Her mother finally spoke, voice soft. Henry, but he raised a hand, silencing her. I looked straight at him. I can handle a lot, sir. But what I can't handle is being treated like a man who's not good enough just because I don't wear a suit like yours. Sophia gasped. Thomas, stop. Why? I asked, turning to her. So they can keep laughing while you nod along. Her face hardened. You're making a scene. I laughed bitterly. A scene? This is my life, my work, my worth, and you treat it like a punchline. Her father pushed his chair back slightly. Sophia, perhaps this arrangement isn't wise. Her mother lowered her gaze, silent, but I caught the flicker of pity in her eyes. Sophia's voice sharpened. Dad, please, he's just nervous. Then she looked at me. Aren't you? I stared at her. No, I'm humiliated. Her lips parted, but no words came. I stood, the chair scraping against the floor. Thank you for dinner, I said stiffly, but I think I should go. Thomas, sit down, she ordered. I shook my head. I won't sit where I'm mocked. Her father's tone was final. Then you should leave. I looked at Sophia one last time. Do you really love me, or do you just love the idea of someone richer than me? Her silence was louder than any answer. I turned toward the door. Her mother's soft voice reached me. Thomas, I paused, but she said nothing more. Just lowered her eyes again. I left the house with the weight of their laughter pressing on my back. Outside, the night air was cool, but I couldn't breathe. I whispered to myself, love shouldn't feel like shame. And for the first time, I wondered if she had ever loved me at all. Her phone buzzed on the nightstand while she showered. I told myself not to look. I told myself trust mattered, but the screen lit again, Michael's name flashing. My chest tightened. My hand moved before my mind could stop it. Michael, can't wait to see you again. Last night was unforgettable. The air left my lungs. I scrolled message after message. His words were bold. Her replies were worse. Sophia, you always make me feel alive. Sophia, Thomas could never understand. The screen blurred as my hands shook. The bathroom door opened. Steam spilling into the room. She stepped out, towel wrapped around her. Why are you holding my phone? I lifted it toward her. Care to explain this? She froze, then smirked. So you snoop now. Don't twist it, I snapped. What is this, Sophia, you and Michael? She crossed her arms. You read it. Why ask? My voice cracked. Because I want to hear it from you. She rolled her eyes. Fine, yes, Michael and I have been seeing each other. The word sliced me open. You're engaged to me, and yet I feel more understood with him than I ever did with you. I staggered back. Understood. He mocks me every time I see him. He jokes. She corrected coldly. But he gets my lifestyle. He gets what I want. What you want, I whispered. What about what we built? What about love? She laughed. Love doesn't pay for vacations, Thomas. Love doesn't buy homes in the city. I stared at her, barely breathing. So everything you said, all the promises, lies. Her smile faded. Not lies, just misplaced hope. I dropped the phone on the bed. You humiliated me in front of your friends, your family, and now this. She shrugged. You're overreacting, overreacting. My voice rose. I gave you everything I had, every late night, every dollar, every ounce of me, and you give yourself to him. She didn't flinch. Thomas, stop being dramatic. You'll land on your feet. You always do. I laughed bitterly. Land on my feet. You've just crushed me. You'll thank me one day, she said calmly. You'll realize I saved you from wasting time on someone out of your league. The words burned like acid. Out of my league. Yes, she said simply. Michael fits my world, you don't. I clenched my fists. And you didn't think of that before saying yes to me. She looked away. I thought you'd grow into it. You didn't. Something inside me broke. So that's it. I was just a project to you. A stepping stone, she corrected coldly. I felt my knees weaken. You're unbelievable. She sighed. Don't act like a victim. You'll survive. Survive. I whispered. No. I'll rise. I swear, Sophia, you'll regret this. She tilted her head, amused. Regret. Doubtful. Michael already promised me things you never could. I grabbed my jacket from the chair, then enjoy them. Because you've lost the one man who actually loved you for you. Her expression faltered for a moment, but she quickly masked it with a smirk. Goodbye, Thomas. I stopped at the door, turned back and let the words spill. Goodbye, Sophia. And good luck finding respect in a bank account. I slammed the door behind me, my heart hammering, my soul splintering. Outside, the night was cold. My breath came ragged, but beneath the pain, a fire sparked. She thought I'd stay broken. She thought I'd crawl. But that night, as I walked away from the only woman I'd ever loved, I promised myself one thing: I would rise. No matter how shattered I felt now, one day she would see me standing taller than she ever dreamed. On that day, the regret she mocked me with tonight would belong entirely to her. Daniel leaned back in the leather chair across from me, grinning at the floor-to-ceiling windows of my office. Hard to believe this is the same guy who used to code in a damp basement. I smirked. Hard to believe we survived the coffee bill back then. He laughed. And now you've got assistants, board meetings, and people actually listening when you talk. How does it feel, boss? I stared at the skyline. It feels earned. Every scar, every insult had built this. The door knocked and my assistant stepped in. Mr. Thomas, a visitor. She says she knows you personally. I frowned. Who? The assistant hesitated. Sophia Carter. Daniel raised his eyebrows. Well, that's a blast from the past. I inhaled slowly. Sent her in. Moments later, Sophia walked through the door. She looked the same but smaller somehow, eyes tired, confidence brittle. Thomas, she whispered. I folded my hands. Sophia, she glanced around the office, trying to smile. You've done well for yourself. I leaned back. So I hear you haven't. Her lips tightened. Michael's firm collapsed after the fraud investigation. Everything we built, it's gone. He's gone. I tilted my head. Correction, you didn't build it. You clung to it. Her voice cracked. I made a mistake. I thought wealth meant security, but he ruined us. Daniel cleared his throat. Want. me to step out. I shook my head. No, stay. You've seen the beginning. You should see this too. Sophia clasped her hands. I didn't come for pity. I came to ask, is there any way we could? I cut her off. No, she blinked. At least let me explain. I was there when you explained, I said sharply. Remember, you laughed. You said Michael understood your lifestyle. That was all the explanation I needed. Her eyes shimmered. People change, and so did I replied. But not the way you think. I don't need revenge. I don't need to humiliate you. Life already did that for me. She lowered her gaze. I don't know where to go. Daniel crossed his arms. Funny, didn't you once tell Thomas he'd never be good enough? Now you're the one asking him for help. Sophia's face reddened. I regret that. I regret everything. I exhaled slowly. Sophia, regret doesn't rebuild trust. You made your choice, I made mine, and look where we ended up. She stepped closer. Please, Thomas. A job, a chance. Anything. I stood, my voice firm. I can't carry your past anymore. You left me in pieces, and I rebuilt myself. That's mine, not yours. Her tears spilled, and for a brief second, the old ache tugged at me. But then I remembered every night I doubted myself because of her words. I straightened my jacket. Goodbye, Sophia, she whispered. You've changed. I met her eyes. No, I just stopped letting you define me. She turned and left, heels clicking against the marble floor. The office fell silent. Daniel finally spoke. That was brutal, I sighed. That was closure. A week later I attended a gala, where industry leaders gathered. Old faces from Sophia's circle lingered near the champagne table. Lena spotted me first. Thomas, oh my God, you look different. I raised an eyebrow. Better than the punchline I used to be. Her laugh was nervous. We were young, stupid. You know how it is. Michael's old colleague Richard chimed in. You've really made a name for yourself. Listen, I've got this new venture. Maybe we could meet, talk partnership. I smiled coolly. Funny, when I asked for a meeting years ago, you wouldn't even take my call. Richard flushed. That was business. Things change. True, I said, and my answer has changed too. It's no. Lena forced another smile. You're really holding on to the past, huh? I shook my head. No, I'm just not letting the past use me anymore. As I walked away, Daniel clapped my shoulder. That was beautiful. It wasn't revenge, I said softly. It was balance. The universe has a way of evening things out. That night, standing on the balcony, overlooking the city, I let the cool wind hit my face. For years I had chased approval, love, respect, thinking they were gifts others could give me. But I finally understood. Respect is built, love is earned, and karma simply arrives when it's ready. I whispered to myself, I'm not the man she left behind. I never will be again. And for the first time, the words didn't feel like hope. They felt like truth. Daniel's voice buzzed through the intercom. Thomas, she's here again. Wants to see you. I froze at my desk. Sophia, yeah, he said. Looks wrecked. Do you want me to send her away? I hesitated, then sighed. No, let her in. The door opened slowly, and there she was. No designer heels, no glowing confidence. Just a woman weighed down by regret. Thomas, she whispered. I nodded. Sophia. She sat without asking, clutching her purse like a lifeline. I know I don't deserve your time, but please, hear me out. I leaned back, arms crossed. Go on. Her voice trembled. I made a mistake. The biggest mistake of my life. I thought I was choosing stability with Michael, but I chose destruction. He lied, cheated, ruined everything, and when it all collapsed, I realized what I'd thrown away. I said nothing, letting the silence cut. Her eyes filled. I mocked you, belittled you, betrayed you, and yet here you are, stronger, respected, successful, and here I am begging. I finally spoke. Do you want forgiveness, or do you want your old life back? She winced. I want you back. I want the man who loved me when I had nothing, who believed in me when no one else did. I didn't see it then, but you were everything. I shook my head slowly. You didn't want me, Sophia. You wanted what I could become. You just didn't believe I'd ever get here. Tears slid down her cheeks. I was blind. I was cruel. Please, give me another chance. I swear I've changed. I leaned forward. You once told me Michael understood your lifestyle. Do you remember how that sounded to the man who gave you his heart? Her face crumbled. I regret it every day. I wake up wishing I could take it back. I exhaled, and I wake up knowing I survived it. That difference matters. She reached across the desk. Desperate. Thomas, please. We can start over. I'll support you. Stand by you whatever you need. I pulled my hand away. What I need is peace, and I found it without you. She shook her head violently. No, you can't mean that. You loved me. I did. I admitted. But love without respect is poison. You taught me that. Her sobs echoed in the office. Don't do this. Don't let me walk out of your life again. I stood, my voice steady. Sophia, you walked out the first time. You chose. Now you're living the consequence. She looked up at me, broken. So, that's it. After everything, you won't forgive me. I softened, though not enough to bend. I forgive you, Sophia, but forgiveness isn't the same as reunion. Forgiveness sets me free. It doesn't bind me back to the past. She covered her face, crying harder. You've really changed. No, I said quietly. I finally became who I was meant to be. She stood shakily, gripping her purse. Then I guess this is goodbye. Yes, I replied, it is at the door. She paused. I hope someday you'll remember me kindly. I held her gaze. I'll remember you honestly. She left, the door closing with a finality that echoed louder than her footsteps. Daniel slipped in after a moment, eyebrows raised. That looked intense. It was, I admitted. You okay? He asked. I smiled faintly. For the first time, yes. She came for forgiveness, but I realized I'd already given it to myself. Daniel nodded. So no more ghosts haunting you, only lessons, I said. He chuckled. Then I'd say you won. I turned back to the window, the city lights, glittering like proof of my journey. For once, I didn't feel bitterness. I didn't feel anger. I felt release. Sophia's tears weren't my burden anymore, and as I whispered to myself, I've moved on. I knew it was the purest truth I'd ever spoken. Daniel leaned against my office doorframe, arms folded. So, that's really it. No more Sophia. I closed the folder on my desk. That's really it. She wanted forgiveness, but I realized I already gave it, just not the way she hoped. He walked in, pulling up a chair. Meaning, I forgave her so I could move on, I said. Not so she could move back in. Daniel smirked. You're handling this better than I expected. I chuckled softly. A year ago her tears would have broken me. Now, they don't control me. That's growth. He leaned closer. So what's next for you, Mr. C.O.? I looked out the window at the city lights. Next I keep building. I keep living. And maybe, I open my heart again, someday. But this time, to someone who sees me not just what I can provide. Daniel nodded slowly. Respect over wealth. Exactly, I said. Respect over everything. He grinned. Sounds like you finally know your worth. I exhaled. I do. And it's not measured by bank accounts or boardrooms, it's measured by peace. Silence lingered for a moment before he asked, do you regret any of it? Sophia, Michael, the pain. I shook my head no. The betrayal hurt, but it shaped me. The scars taught me resilience. Without them, I wouldn't be here. Daniel tapped the desk. So, in a way, she gave you the fuel to become who you are. I smirked. Funny, isn't it? She tried to break me, but she built me instead. He laughed. Life's twisted like that. I leaned back. Karma's not always loud. Sometimes it's just quiet. Balance her downfall. My rise. No revenge, no gloating, just balance. Daniel pointed at me. That right there, that's closure. I nodded. Closure isn't about doors slamming. It's about not needing them open anymore. He grinned. You're starting to sound like a philosopher, or maybe just a man finally at peace, I said. The phone buzzed on my desk. Another investor meeting request. I silenced it. Daniel raised a brow, ignoring business. That's new. I smiled. For once, I don't feel like I'm chasing anything. I already have enough. He clapped my shoulder. I didn't notice how many days had passed. Plates stacked in the sink. Curtains stayed closed. My body felt heavy, my mind heavier. Daniel knocked once, then barged in. Thomas, this place stinks. I groaned from the couch. Go home, Daniel. No, he said firmly, pulling a chair closer. I'm not watching you rot. I rubbed my eyes. She's gone. What's left? Everything, he shot back. You're acting like Sophia was your whole life. She was, I whispered. Leaned forward. No, she wasn't. You had a life before her. You'll have one after her. I shook my head. You don't get it. She chose him because I wasn't enough. Daniel's voice sharpened. Stop saying that. She chose him because she's shallow. That's on her, not you. I looked at the floor. Then why does it feel like I'm the one broken? Because you loved her, he said softer, and she didn't deserve it. I swallowed hard. I can't eat. I can't sleep. I close my eyes. And it's their messages replaying. Daniel sighed. I get it. But Thomas, you can't let her win twice. She already left. Don't let her destroy you too. I buried my face in my hands. I don't know how to start. You start by standing up, he said. One step, then another. You've got work, talent, drive, use it. I laughed bitterly. Work. I can barely get off this couch. Then get mad. Daniel pressed. Channel it. She thought you'd crumble. Prove her wrong. His words hung in the air. I wanted to reject them, but a part of me knew he was right. I muttered. What if I fail? Daniel smirked. Then fail spectacularly, but at least you'll be moving. Anything is better than this. Silence stretched before I whispered. I loved her, man, with everything. He put a hand on my shoulder. I know, but sometimes loving the wrong person teaches us more than loving the right one. I let out a shaky breath. It hurts. Of course it does, he said. But pain can burn you alive or it can forge you. Your choice. His words settled deep inside me. Something flickered, a spark I hadn't felt in weeks. I nodded slowly. All right, I'll try. Not try, Daniel corrected. Do. Take all that rage, heartbreak, humiliation, turn it into fuel. I sat up straighter. Fuel, yes, he said firmly. Build something so strong that one day, when she looks back, she'll know exactly what she lost. My chest tightened, but this time with resolve. She already underestimated me once. Daniel smiled. Exactly. Don't give her the satisfaction of being right. I looked around at the mess in my apartment, the empty bottles, the untouched meals, the dust. I've been living like a ghost. Then come back to life, he urged. Start today, clean this place, eat something, then focus on what you can control: your work, your growth, your future. I let out a long breath. It sounds simple. When you say it, it is simple, Daniel replied. Not easy, but simple. For the first time in weeks I stood. My legs shook, but I was on my feet all right. One step, that's it, Daniel said with a grin. One step. I grabbed a plate from the table. If I rise, it won't be for her, it'll be for me. Now you're talking, he said proudly. I paused, gripping the plate tighter. But when she sees it, when she realizes, Daniel interrupted, that'll just be a bonus. I smiled faintly. A damn good bonus. The heaviness in my chest hadn't vanished, but it shifted. It no longer crushed MIT fueled me as I cleared the room. Daniel leaned back, watching. This is the start. Thomas, you hit rock bottom. The only way now is up. I met his eyes. Then let's climb. Daniel slapped another pile of papers on the desk. That's 3 rejected proposals this week. I leaned back, rubbing my temples. 3 rejections mean 3 people actually read them. That's progress. You call this progress? He asked, half smiling. I call it persistence, I said. Every no gets us closer to the right yes, Daniel pointed at the whiteboard crowded with messy notes. So what's next? I stood, marker in hand. We refined the pitch again. Highlight the pain point. Simplify the solution. Investors don't want poetry, they want proof. Daniel chuckled. Funny, you sound more confident than 2 months ago. Because I have to be, I replied. If I doubt myself, no one will believe in this. The office was nothing more than a rented basement with flickering lights, but to me it was a battlefield. I worked through nights, lines of code blurring, coffee cups piling. Each failure stung, but every small fix reminded me I wasn't beaten. One evening, Daniel nudged me. We've got a meeting tomorrow. Elena Marquez, angel investor, big name. I blinked. She actually agreed to meet. Yep, and she's tough, Daniel warned. No fluff, no excuses. The next day we sat across from her in a sleek glass conference room. Elena wore a sharp navy suit, her gaze steady, assessing me as if she could see every weakness. She opened her folder. Thomas, why should I care about your startup when 90% of them fail? I swallowed, then leaned forward. Because ours isn't built on hype, it's built on solving a real problem. Companies waste time managing outdated systems. We give them efficiency at half the cost. Her eyebrow arched. That's what every founder says. What makes you different? I took a breath. Because I know failure, I've lived it, and I won't stop until this succeeds. This isn't about getting rich, it's about proving resilience can build something lasting. Elena studied me. Silently, that answer wasn't in your slides. No, I admitted, because slides don't build companies, people do. Daniel shot me a nervous glance, but Elena's lips curved into the faintest smile. She tapped her pen. Show me your prototype. I pulled out my laptop, hand steady despite my pounding heart. As I walked her through the demo, she interrupted constantly. Why this feature? How do you scale? What about competition? Each time, I answered with clarity I didn't know I had. When the presentation ended, the room was quiet. Finally, Elena closed her folder. You're rough around the edges, but grit counts. I'll give you a small investment, nothing more than seed money. Show me you can grow it. Relief rushed through me. You won't regret it. Don't make promises, she said, standing. Deliver results. We'll speak again in 6 months. As she left, Daniel grabbed my arm. Thomas, that was insane. You didn't flinch once. I smiled, faintly, because for the first time, I believed my own words. Weeks turned into months. Elena's investment kept us afloat, and we worked like men possessed. Every morning I forced myself into sharper clothes, cleaner haircuts, straighter posture. Daniel teased me. Who are you trying to impress? But deep down I knew. I wasn't impressing anyone. I was rebuilding myself. One late night, Daniel pushed his chair back. You realize we just closed our first paying client? I stared at the signed contract. We actually did it. He grinned. Feels good, doesn't it? It feels like breathing again, I admitted. As deals trickled in, confidence followed. I started walking into meetings with steady steps, not nervous stumbles. At networking events, I introduced myself boldly. Thomas, founder and CEO. No hesitation. During one progress review, Elena crossed her arms. I expected you to crawl. Instead, you're sprinting, explain. I answered with a grin. Turns out humiliation is excellent fuel. She laughed softly, shaking her head. Whatever it is, keep using it. Just don't let ego replace hunger. I nodded. I won't. Months later, after another investor round, Daniel raised a glass of cheap champagne in our office. To Tomas, the man Sophia mocked, the man everyone doubted, the man building an empire. I lifted my glass, the words catching in my throat. To resilience, Daniel smirked, and to proving people wrong. We clinked glasses, laughter echoing off the cracked basement walls. That night, as I lay in bed, exhaustion pressed heavy on my body but not my spirit. For the first time in years, I didn't feel small. I didn't feel like Sophia's shadow. I felt like a man who had been broken, burned, and rebuilt. I whispered to myself, this is only the beginning. And deep down I knew it was true.